Hello there. Today we want to talk about the 5-element teacher training course that we have coming up at the end of the month, 27th to the 31st of January. And we'd like to introduce to you the facilitators of the course, Mr. John Preston,
Okay.
and our beloved Eleonora.
Hi, Eleonora.
And just to have a little bit more information about, or touch the top of the information of what this course is actually about. Mr. John, can you just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes.
And what has brought you back to Dahab to share this beautiful concept with everyone?
Well, Dahab is a special place on the planet these days, and so it's easy to come back here. My history is I was originally a filmmaker who became a Buddhist monk for many years, who then needed a job where Buddhist monk experience was useful. And this turned out to be work in Chinese medicine. And the Chinese have been observing nature as long as human beings have been alive. So it's an experiential kind of medicine. And the 5 elements are how the seasons work, they're how nature actually performs in every single action, whether it's a season, a lifetime, or writing your term paper, or anything that has a beginning, middle, and end will show all the seasons of life, all the phases of change. And so they've been observing this and writing it down for 3,000 years. Western medicine is less than 1,000 years old. So it's quite a profound wisdom tradition, but it's all based on the observation of nature itself.
Okay.
And the great answer to why we're doing this is we're all already professionals because we are part of nature ourselves. So these seasons, these phases of change are part of ourselves naturally. And so this particular course will be just to remind us that we already perceive these things and that you can use them to understand any action, any healing, any event, and get better and better at allowing things to become natural and healthy.
Okay, beautifully said, yeah, great. Eleonora, my dear, so some of the people watching know you already from your therapeutic therapies. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you yourself and Mr. John became working together or training with Mr. John, and continuing on with that, even within your therapies you're using a lot of elements of the 5 elements. And what is really your, during the course itself, where is your part of your contribution to the course?
Definitely. I've been working here also in Noor Wellbeing, which became also my house and the place I've been, also where I met Mr. John. And I started in 2020 here, practicing therapeutic massage and introducing also different things like my psychological support and mental health therapies. So the approach that started already in my path, I've been working for 15 years for international NGO, and then suddenly I discovered that I need to go more in deep.
Okay.
And that's why I started to approach to Chinese medicine studies and combining what is mind, so all the therapeutic and psychological aspect with the physical part.
Okay.
We used to always to separate. And as John said, we're part of nature, so we're one. Nature is one. And we should have an approach, even in healing and therapy, to the full system, looking at everything. So since when I started here, I've been treating several persons, and suddenly came up in the studio of Noor Wellbeing, Mr. John Preston. And we started to know each other. And in the meantime, I was working with him, I was learning from him.
Okay.
So for me was starting to understand even more. And he explained me during our common therapy a lot of parts on how I was actually already using the methodology
Yeah.
of meridians, and I was applying Chinese medicine, and I was understanding several things. So the 5 elements became a full picture of what I was really practicing. Suddenly we decided, why not? One day we decided, why not we can also transmit to the people this important way of diagnosing yourself, because that was also an instrument where I've been learning more about myself.
Okay.
How my seasons are flowing, how my elements are going inside my body, and how I'm understanding them, and I'm using them to understand people in front of me. So whoever is going to come into my practice, I've been understanding more through the elements on how to know the person in front of me, which is already, part of what I was already doing, but not with the consciousness
Yeah.
that I've been acquiring more and more, reading and working and studying it.
Yeah. I think that's quite a nice point that's came up in the conversation with us, isn't it? Is that people are unconsciously using a lot of 5 element practices or processes or concept or whatever. Anyway, whether it's yoga practice within their business, within the therapies or the treatments that they offer, but on an unconscious level. So with understanding what exactly the 5 elements are, with that connection with nature, with the cycles, the seasons of life, or in everything, that if that person, that practitioner, that teacher is learning that about themselves, and then being able to transfer that to students or to patients or whatever, this is really the point where healing really starts. As you said, Mr. John, we have to go through the fire, or we have to go through various situations to be able to teach about it or to help others go through that process. It's not just about being certified in certain things and practices or whatever. It is really this element of, if we know ourselves and how to heal, or not even heal, but where we are in our season, and to work these seasons or these phases in life to our best ability, then we can really step forward to offer sessions or classes or whatever to others and really transfer what that is. So to surmise really the course, or the touching on this, the whole concept of 5 elements, that this course is really allowing any type of person, teacher, practitioner, like you mentioned, businessman, anybody in any time of life or in any industry of life, to really connect with themselves and nature, or to connect themselves with where they are in life within the nature cycle. Is that?
Yes, exactly.
Can you just sort of take that a little bit further?
In this course, we could work with, I've been doing Chinese medicine for 35 years. So I would be qualified to be of assistance to someone who's done it for 34 years. We will have the precision and this is a very ancient system to do with the organs and the channels of energy. It can get very, very detailed. And it would be sufficient for such a person if they wanted to add to their skills. But the primary interest is to just locate oneself in nature.
Okay.
We are having a crisis on our planet, and it's a crisis of separation from nature. The irony is we ourselves are nature, so we've become separate from ourselves. The seasons are a universal measuring system of all life, and we're part of the seasons ourselves. The seasons happen in a nanosecond, or they happen over our lifetime. You and I are going from harvest into the autumn of our life. Eleonora is in the summertime of her life. So it can be applied to the micro and the macro. But the main thing is the primary urgency on the planet. Nature wants us to become aware of ourselves. And we are all using these are all part of our natural life. We breathe in, we breathe out. There is awareness that needs to be added to the process.
Okay. Nice.
So it's our awareness that we are part of nature, and this is a way of locating ourselves. Now, it also has many other aspects. Most people have a primary trauma in their life. That primary trauma usually lives within one of these elemental phases. So let's say obsessive compulsive disorder
Okay.
is an earth or harvest season issue. And if you think about it, it's like someone who plays with their food and can't eat it, okay? So this, if you have such a client, and I do, this becomes a very big part of their life. So learning how these seasons can transition into each other frees that person from being stuck in that season, which is that psychological issue, or be a physical issue. So it's really quite comprehensive from the most, someone can come with an actual quite classified disease, diabetes or heart issue. All of these will fall into seasonal aspects and have seasonal treatments. Or we can take it to the much broader level and say, okay, what element of my current country, society, community are not working, right? And there will be a season of dysfunction that creates disharmony. And there will be a season of function that creates harmony. In an organization, in a business, in your family checkbook. All of these things are always there. I am more from the both the medical and the psychological end of this. There is no division between body, emotions, and consciousness. Often a problem, someone's physical problem, let's say they have liver disease, it can begin with their emotions. And this is all called the wood element. Liver is a springtime organ, right? So they could be quite an angry person with no physical aspect yet, but it is already happening in their emotional life. So that's where the change can be applied. Or it can happen literally in their consciousness. Not all issues are physical, they all relate to each other. So it's quite a dynamic system.
Yeah, it sounds like it's such a lengthy and in-depth process, or
Lifetimes.
understand lifetimes. That's exactly it. But the idea, what I understand from what you're saying, is this course itself is really about self-discovery.
Absolutely.
Identifying where you are in your life season or life phase, being able to articulate that and to be consciously aware of where you are, and looking at what some of those symptoms can be and how you would go forward to aid those, or to not to heal those, but to really work on those elements. Is that?
Well, it's exactly as you say, it's about awareness of the process.
Okay.
Healing, we often think of healing as an action. Healing is much more an awareness.
Okay.
As soon as you see a process, you start to observe it, it changes naturally.
Yeah, nice, yeah.
The big piece of this is that we are ourselves manifestations of nature. Everything is communicating all the time. There are no secrets. There is just lack of attention. And this course is about sharpening our attentive skills to see what's right in front of us, both in ourselves and in the person we're sitting across from. Nature wants us to understand
Each other
and ourselves.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah.
So no matter what level someone is beginning with, this course should be able to provide them with a clearer perspective, more vision, more understanding of themselves as a moment in time, as part of nature.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's why I believe we wanted to open it to practitioners, also to people that already are working with other people, so to learn more about how they can apply in their daily life, in their own practice, combining all the different aspects of what is their practice with the different kind also of skills and techniques we're already working with. For example, our course will be divided in different things. We're going to have another trainer with us, which is Mona Shafei. She's going to take part of the yoga aspect on how we are going to combine also the physical approach. So she will work with the yoga related to the 5 elements. Mr. John will take care about all the meditation side, also on the theoretical part, and we will work with sound healing, so this is also another part included in our practice. And we will have also a side of voice healing,
Yeah.
and of Qigong techniques based on the 5 elements that they would be the practical part, the practical exercise, combined also on how to work physically, on how to apply into massage, how to understand your body, what are the main points. So we will have a combination of things in the course that will give the full approach
Yeah, nice.
to this.
Yeah, that's really nice. And you touched there on the sound healing, and you started to tell me about the various gongs that you have. So, what what is the use for sound healing or for the gongs within 5 elements?
Well, every element has a frequency, right? Sound is wonderful because the main division between ourself and being present is thought.
Okay, yeah.
When we put our attention on one sense, we have 6 senses, the mind is 6 sense. When we put our attention on one sense, we can easily see our consciousness and what it's knowing, and not need to be thinking about it. It's an immersive technique.
Okay.
You know, it helps you actually get to the present. Nature only happens in the present. Right? That's the big mysterious clue.
Yeah.
Nature is everything, but she's only happening right now.
Right now, yeah.
And most human beings are now separated because we live in thought.
Yeah.
So we use sound, and I use sound in my treatments to immerse the receiver into their own life.
Okay.
So we will, and the meditative process, meditation is just the process of knowing you are alive in this instant. All healing happens only in this instant. Meditation and healing are exactly the same thing. So we want to create a natural process where we're not dividing ourselves up anymore.
Okay. Or that disconnection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The disconnection is the main disease of the world right now.
Yeah, that's so true, isn't it? With so much of the modern day life, it is, and it's interesting to hear when you started to say that, you know, nature itself or the world itself is in crisis and it's crumbling. And part of that reason, or you may have said the reason for that, is because, you know, we're so fragmented. We're not in union or in any flow with what is happening. And when you talk to people these days, so many people are talking about something similar, but we're not articulating it all in the same way. But when you're aware of it and you're conscious of it, you see that so many people are in that point of collapse, unchosen. You know, it's almost like, you know, you're given the opportunity to take a different path or to stop this or start this. And that choice hasn't been willingly taken, but it's happening anyway.
It's happening now.
It's happening anyway. It's almost out of your hands. It's happening whether you like it or not. It's going to happen now. And people are aware of this shift. So what's going to be really interesting for me on a personal level to join this course is to really like see how we can constantly be in a state of what is, like you say, the here and now, what is, and understand what is happening with the planet, where we are right now, what is required. Because also in the work that you do as a practitioner, or even the work that we do at Noor Wellbeing, we want to be of some good on a universal level. It's not just about, you know, someone comes, they have a therapy, they feel wonderful. It's really about what can we contribute to what is happening globally. By having someone like yourself and yourself, Eleonora, doing this amazing course, this is really what is helping things move forward or to create change.
We could say nature is putting on this course.
Yeah.
We're just the instruments.
Yeah.
Nature is having a healing crisis right now. Now, healing crises are usually very beneficial, but they're very difficult. And one of the things we will accomplish one way or the other in these 5 days is we will manifest our own healing crisis personally.
Okay, yeah.
Because our personal healing crisis is the healing crisis of nature, of the planet, of the cosmos. And as we attend to our own, it's what we can do for the greater.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Nothing is separate. You are not taking care of oneself is never an indulgence. It's rejoining nature itself. It's becoming a better instrument. So if we look at everything as a microcosm of the greater, it really works. So diagnostics are part of this workshop to understand the condition each of us is in. What are the tools we can use to help that resolve?
Okay.
And in doing that, we're doing everything we can for this greater problem.
Lovely. I mean, we've touched on a few questions. I think we've covered quite a really good overall idea of what this course is about and what people can learn, can gain from joining this course. But Eleonora, maybe you want to talk a little bit more about the logistical side of things. It's the 27th of January, so you know we're reaching a closing date. What exactly is the date of the yes or no date? Just to give people this idea that you know, make a commitment, set the intention that you're going to take this journey. It's not just about these 5 days, it's actually a lot more like a lifestyle or a mindset change that people can embrace and commit to. What is the yes or no date that you want to put in place for this course?
Yeah, I believe that we need, as you said, you know, to set up a kind of, I don't want to call it deadline, but as you said, we need to understand also what is our commitment to the course.
Yeah.
Even if in case, of course we put it a price, but this price can be also divided in different installments and also...
Oh, the installment plan,
Yeah, we can discuss about this if anybody has, you know, the real commitment to join. I believe that for the 20, we should have a yes or no if you're being with us, which is going to be 7 days before
the start.
the start.
So 20th of January, sorry dear.
Good date. And we're not going to call it a deadline, we're going to call it a lifeline.
Lifeline.
Nice.
Grab the lifeline by 7 days out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's perfect. Yeah, beautiful. 20th of January. Yeah. So all those people that have contacted us and requested information, we hope that this little Q&A has helped you in some way to get a better understanding, to meet Mr. John, Eleonora, and just really to bring you to a closer point where you can grab that lifeline, as you said. Yeah. And get in touch with us. Let's go for it. We will, if there are any information that people require, whether it's more details about the course, the accommodation packages, the 3-month installment payment plan, just get in touch with us. I think on this post below you'll probably find our phone numbers and Eleonora's number, so you can reach out to either of us to get more information. I mean, you have anything closing that you want to say to anybody? Any questions maybe that people have been asking you?
Yeah, most of the question is how I can really get this tool in practice. And me, myself, I've been learning a lot about this tool. And it was changing completely my way of dealing, you know, with people, and in particular with myself. So definitely yes, as John said, the first point is observing and discovering. So we're gonna really, it's fundamental for the days we're living in to observe and put yourself in a discovery mode, because we all are. So it's just to recognize what we're doing, observing what's going on and putting in place. So definitely, yes, I invite all of you to join, to learn these new tools that really can be a shift in what is gonna be your process, your path, your season, and your future practice.
Great, yeah, perfect. Mr. John, you have something you want to wrap up with?
There is only this present moment, but time is very limited on the planet right now. If you feel you should be here, just be here. If you feel you should be here, you already have a date and an appointment to learn these things and to become the tool for nature that you actually are. I wouldn't wait too long. I would just get on with it. So welcome. If you feel to come, you should be here. Come.
Nice.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you, Anna.
Thank you. See you all soon, 27th of January.